Good morning. How's everybody doing? Another Zoom meeting day. So I hope you guys are doing great. We have over 200 participants on this thing right now, so we are excited. We are going to have a panel today after we run through a couple things and get back to trying to get back to doing these Zoom meetings as we would normally do a regular sales meeting. So we are going to start this off here real quick with, I think it's only like a 2-minute, 20-second video that Christy found for us. So I'm going to ask you just to watch us, enjoy it. And we have been getting some, last week we did, and again this week we did, and I forgot to talk to Gene about it, but moving forward on these Zoom calls, we're going to have about 5 to 10 minutes of background upbeat, positive music, just as we would be doing if we were in sales meetings. So these Zoom meetings are going to be just like we're all in person seeing each other. So unfortunately, I'm going to be the only mug that you're seeing most of the time, but other than that, it's good to do these meetings with you guys. So Gina, will you hit this video, and then we'll be right back with you guys.
There's something eerie about a quiet house. The hum of the fridge, the creaks in the floor, but the empty streets, that's new. We are living in history. And right now, the memories we make should be the ones we choose to make.
Yay! For everybody that's healthy right now. What about you, Ivor? What are you happy for? Yeah, yourself?
Slow down. Smell the rain. Hear the winds. Nature around you continue to move. With no end in sight, the only promise we have is of the ones we love.
Master?
Yeah. We're so accustomed to being plugged in and moving, but sometimes we forget. We forget the important. Life can flash by in the blink of an eye. Think of all the good times you had. Whether it be a party, the beach, or a place you traveled to. I guarantee you it was not the place you traveled to, but how it made you feel. Right now, we can choose to remember this feeling of being trapped, or we can choose to remember seeing our child's first crawl, or learning something new about our significant other, or making a connection in these times of
Thankful that I have a mom and dad, a family, a house, day for the moon, and kind words.
Kind words, yes. I'm thankful for kind words too.
So you choose, because as time keeps moving, this too shall pass.
Thank you, Christy, for finding that. And we didn't want to play, if you guys sitting at your home, too long of a video. We felt like we might get people that we would end up losing this process. So, this will pass. And it's been interesting, but I do think this is the good that's came out of this is we've spent more time, Shannon sitting next here to me with the kids probably than we ever have unless we're in Ozarks together, locked on a boat with them or something like that. But this is time that, I think we need to build and nurture those relationships, and maybe some of them we've ignored because we've been so busy working and doing other things. So make the best of these times as we are at home with our loved ones, and let's build and nurture those relationships. And this we will get through. And, I feel like we're starting to get to the bottom of this and we're starting to work. We did ask some of you to send some questions, and a couple of questions. One is I'm not going to go over again, is a lot of the questions were still about the PPP and unemployment. I've headed all of you guys off to Scott. So if you continue to have questions on that, and if you've not done the PPP, please get that in as soon as possible. I've heard from numerous of you that you've applied for that and you've got verification back that you have been approved on that. And that money actually, I think, has got to be sent into you within 10 days. So those of you, we had a number of people in the mastermind groups last week, Heather and I did, that had not applied as of Thursday and Friday for that PPP. So we're going to continue to encourage each and every one of you to please do that. That's unforgivable money that you can get back, showing what your income was on the PPP, the unemployment thing. We're still a little confused. So if there's questions on that, please reach out to Scott on that. A couple other quick updates I wanted to do before we're going to have Kevin from AHS talk about the free home warranty program here for a couple of minutes, and then Maggie before we get to our top producer panel, and then we're going to get rolling on that. Is can you put up the market share graphs for me? And first of all, I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter. Beautiful day on Saturday. Got a little cold on Sunday and the last couple of days, but I hope you just had a wonderful day. So Gina's downloading for me right now some market share graphs. We just got first quarter market share numbers back here the last couple of days. It's not coming up on my screen. I don't know if it's up on anyone else's screen or not. So hopefully it is. It could be my internet connection. So we'll see. So let me look at your screen if I could.
Yep.
So again, the pie charts that we do, 4 charts all the time. One is as of this date, which was last week. I lost the pie charts. I apologize. I should have had them in front of me. The active number of listings we have in the market is 41.5%, guys. So we're continuing to dominate and do extremely well in that portion of the market. You can see the other people. Dodge had 15.3%. Nebraska Realty had 9.3%. Better Homes and Gardens had 6.5%. And Keller Williams Omaha was at 2.1%. The total metro market, which is not just Douglas County, but the surrounding metro market, we're up relative to where we were last year. We're at 39.9% total market share. The next closest is Nebraska Realty. They overtook MP Dodge. I will tell you, MP Dodge, Keller Williams, and EXP's numbers are all down from last year, and the market for the first quarter is up. So not only are they down in market share, but they're down in total numbers to what they had last year. Dodge, which is at 13.5% market share this time last year, is sitting at 10.6% market share. And hold on one second. And Better Homes is at 9.2%, and Keller Williams is at 4.8%. And then Douglas and Sarpy County, obviously the areas where we've got our offices, we're continuing to dominate those markets at 42.8% in Douglas County, 39% in Sarpy County. So you guys, unbelievable first quarter relative to, I guess, really what's been going on in the world. So utilize these. Will all be downloaded in the resource center. Or where do these get downloaded to, Gina? We emailed them yesterday. We did email them yesterday. So you guys have these. If you need these, and we'll send these out again with these sales meeting notes, please utilize these to let people know what our market share is in this time, because we are seeing tons of people saying they want to do business with agents that have continued to build and nurture relationships with them. And as I've always said, in times like this, there's a flock to quality in financial stability, which Berkshire Hathaway has, quality in people that are trusting us. And that goes the same with you as agents. So if you continue to build and nurture great relationships and people, your clients trust you, they're going to come to you in these times to do business with you. And we're going to hear some of that from our panelists here as we talk this afternoon. The other thing is Berkshire Hathaway, I think we mentioned this a little bit last year, on their top competitive awards, they used to have the top 100 agents, and it didn't matter if it was a team or an individual or the size of the team. For 2020, that's going to change. Their top 100 is not going to be anything that, it's not going to be what it has been in the past. It's going to look different. It's going to be based on the top 25 individuals getting recognized, the top 25 small teams, which is 2 to 5 people on the team, not counting licensed assistants, the top 25 mid-sized teams, which is 6 to 10 people, and the top 25 large teams, which they declare as 11 plus agents on it. And it's not just what's at the end of the year. They take an average of that. We have to report this monthly to them. So it depends on every month that you have a buyer's agent on or off your team, that's going to count as 1/12 towards that total number. So they're going to recognize in both units and GCI, top 25 individuals, small teams, mid-sized teams, and large teams. So that creates, and in my opinion, I had some input in this last June and July with Chris Stewart. It creates, I think, a fair scoreboard for everybody to compete on, because you have teams that are out there, 15, 25 people that are ranked, 50th or 60th or 70th. They're not going to show up in the top 25 mega teams anymore. And that's going to allow people that were individuals or small teams to get into the top 25 of their category. An example, the top 100 last year, Megan was 5th in the country for individuals, but she didn't make the top 100. So there's going to be, and Ralph was 4th, who did make it. So that means based on the numbers last year, 21 additional people will be getting recognized on stage in that top 25 that were individuals, and 21 less people will be getting recognized that were some sort of team as we move forward. So I think that's very fair. I think it levels the playing field for everybody. So I thought that was a good move on behalf of Berkshire Hathaway and the network to do that. If you have any questions on that or any of the categories that they have for awards, please reach out to me later. Again, company policy, guys, we're not changing things, but we are trying, and this is in regards to coronavirus here. We're continuing to try to keep all of you out of the office. And by the way, Mike Blackman has been out of the hospital, and they've been saying that his doctor's saying that he's over this. I've asked Mike, please, because I know a lot of you guys are stressed out, kind of as we asked Stephen Nico last week. Mike, stay out of the office. If you need to get in there, get in, get out. To wear masks with gloves. But we're asking everyone really continue to work from home as much as humanly possible. If you're in the office, Janet is back in the office today, or as of this week, and we don't want you. Yesterday there was a group of you kind of gathering up there, just kind of chatting, and it just makes everybody uneasy. So please, if you're in the office, let's not come to chat with each other. Let's stay 6 feet away from each other. We're seeing more and more people wear gloves and masks, and I think that's great. But get in, get out, do your stuff. If you're in there and you got an office, go close the door. But let's continue to be smart. Same thing when it comes to, we're going to continue to recommend no open houses. On the showings, really only serious buyers. Make sure you're taking gloves, booties. So none of that stuff has changed over the last month and what we're doing. The office, because we have less activity, we are attempting to get all of the offices sanitized again. The company that does our sanitizing is out of that stuff. And so we're hoping, we thought we were gonna get it done yesterday. That's when we were scheduled to. We're hoping that the beginning of next week, they're gonna have that mist to spray everything. And so we're hoping next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we can scatter through the offices and get all of our office locations, including Regency, Sarkby, and Council Bluffs sprayed. So Jay's working on that. And we're just waiting to hear back on where we're at on getting that chemical to kill the coronavirus and spray everything in the offices. In Village Point only, trash is only being, the cleaning people are coming on all day, are coming on Tuesdays and Fridays. So John and others are helping us kind of dump some trash on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And really there's only a couple of locations that we have much activity there. So be cognizant of that, but we're still walking through the building daily, wiping down copiers, door handles, bathrooms, and all that type of stuff. So we'll continue to take every precaution as possible. But the bottom line is we don't want dogs, pets, kids, clients in the office. Get in, get out, be safe, and let's continue to do business. But as I showed you on that market chart for the first quarter, numbers are up. We're up substantially over where we were last year for the same amount of business. So it's been shocking to me, the amount of business that's taken place. But we clearly have, over the last 10 days, seen a slowdown in pending sales, although listings seem to be really strong. I'm going to be asking our panelists about what they're hearing, so you can hear from them, of the people that are saying they want to hit pause or go to the sideline and so forth. So I'm going to let Kevin jump on here right now. If we could get Kevin loaded up there. Kevin's going to talk a little bit about AHS. We have both AHS and 210. You know that we got the free home warranty program on that. They're still here doing business. So I want to let them talk a little bit about what they're doing. Do we got Kevin ready?
Should be.
Kevin, I'm seeing you, but I'm not seeing your picture. Could you be video?
I thought I had opted for video. Oh, here we go.
I got you.
We got you. All right. Shoot away, Kevin.
So like Vin said, still offering the no-cost sellers coverage. If you guys have questions on that, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to review and answer your questions. It's simple to enroll. As long as you check American Home Shield in paragraph 25, Jordy sends a spreadsheet to us every evening, 3 o'clock, and we auto enroll those right away for you guys. So it's a super simple, seamless to get that coverage for your clients and for your sellers. Seeing a lot, like Vin said, business is still happening and it's still a good market. Seeing multiple offers. If you guys have a multiple offer situation, don't shy away from the home warranty, right? I've had a lot of success with buyers agreeing to pay for the warranty and extend that no-cost sellers coverage to the listing agent to really protect that transaction, to get it through the inspection process as easily and stress with the least amount of stress possible. Again, if you have any questions on how to do that or how that works, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to walk you through that process and explain how you can extend that no-cost seller's coverage on your buyer's behalf to the.
And Kevin, to be clear on that, that's not just for other Berkshire Hathaway listings. Because of our relationship with you guys, we get the free seller's coverage for all of our sellers. But if we as a buyer's agent go in and ask for the seller buyer coverage, I'm gonna let you, and it's a non-Berkshire Hathaway listing, that non-Berkshire Hathaway listing agent seller will get the free coverage on their side. So I just want to make sure you expand upon that, because I think that's one thing that not everybody fully understands, correct?
Absolutely. So our computer system looks at whoever enrolled it, and the driver of whether or not that listing coverage is got a cost associated to it or not, looks at who enrolls it. So as long as that warranty is enrolled by Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador, the seller's coverage has no cost. And that'll start from the day that it's enrolled, the day that the signed purchase agreement is accepted.
And so I think Kevin's point that I want to make sure is really important for all of you guys to focus on is even in these multiple bid under $250,000 price houses, that, you know, I've never been a fan of us going out and selling that house to our client and not having them have any sort of home warranty, any sort of home inspections, and just all of a sudden something goes wrong in a house that, quite honestly, most of those people are stretching just to get into the house. This is a way where they can pay for the home warranty, get the 1-year home warranty, but extend that to the seller. So if things come back, the seller can get those things fixed, electronic, you know, whatever, plumbing, whatever the issue is, without really any cost to them, and the deal then does not fall apart. And that's the big part of this, is even if the buyer's got to pay for that, at least they get some protection, and the deal's not going to fall apart on that process.
Just here in the last few weeks, I've seen furnaces come back with cracked heat exchangers. It's a $75 service fee. Send the home warranty out. There may be a few $100s in modifications. A few $100s is a lot easier to negotiate, and it provides a better experience for both buyer and seller than having to negotiate $3,000 for a new furnace, right? Let the warranty take care of that for you guys. Hot water heaters leaking, all those sorts of things, okay? Inspection report. So we've enrolled, well, I think over 400 listings in AHS sellers coverage, okay? There's two things that we say we do really, really well at American Home Shield. We sell warranties and we pay claims. Let's really put American Home Shield to the test on paying the claims. Send those inspection reports to me. Let me review those for you guys, and let me identify potential coverage for you. I think the proof's in the pudding. It's one thing for me to sit here and tell you guys, hey, we're wonderful. I was looking at some stats. Just in 2020, so far this year, American Home Shield has paid out $5,984,000 in claims to Home Services of America. Looking at last year, we paid out $26 million to Home Services of America clients. That's phenomenal, right? Again, we do two things really, really well: sell warranties, pay claims. Send those inspection reports to me, and let's try and find some opportunities for American Home Shield to lessen that burden on the sellers, or even for your buyers going into purchasing those new homes.
Kevin, I appreciate your time. And I think we have set, I'm looking at Gina right now. Do we have you guys set up? And if not, maybe I need to reach out to Missy. Make sure that I've got you guys set up, and also 210 set up for your own separate classes and Zoom classes with our agents and so forth. So if not, I'll make sure that we get out information. Scott, if you jump on that loop and make sure that Missy and Gina and everyone's on that same page, we'll get you guys set up. So if you've got questions for Kevin, we'll create a Zoom event for you to get in there and dive deeper in this. But Kevin, we appreciate your time, and let's keep selling houses, and let's keep protecting our clients with the warranty program. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Next, I'm going to grab Maggie real quick. Maggie, in the last week, has set up for us a virtual home tour site where they're manually going in. If you've got a Matterport or a virtual tour of some sort, and I think even videos that I'm going to have her talk about, that's going to be on our website and they're pulling those daily, especially in this world right now where we know that there's more and more people doing Matterports, virtual tours, and so forth. So Maggie, I see your face. Do we have her ready to roll? Unmute her. Let's go, Maggie.
Hey, everybody. So we have built, kind of what Vince said, we have built a virtual tour landing page. So on the homepage of the website, there's a button for all of the houses that have either a Matterport tour or a video tour, and it automatically pulls those in. So I'm going to drop the link to it in the chat here when I'm done talking, but this is a manual process. So we've been going into the MLS and adding our listings that have the tours in the field, and then we're manually doing this every day. So if you check it out and you're not on there, email marketing, and we can get you added. But we're going to use this to promote virtual open houses, and then we'll do some social media posts around it, kind of promoting these houses that you can view, virtually, without actually having to walk through them. So if you have any questions, just let me know. That's it.
Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah,
I appreciate
I'll
it.
email out the link to everybody for that also.
And again, if you need the tech guys, because you're managing them, I mean, they've been crazy busy with the number of people working from home. It seems like we've had a lot of people, you've told me, I think on our manager's call, getting new computers and us getting the help set up. So please reach out for anything marketing, anything tech to those teams and make sure that we can help you guys with that. So thank you, Maggie. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we did ask for some questions. And so I'm going to answer one question that we've answered before, but I want to expand upon because it does continue to come up in mastermind groups. And it was a question sent to us between last week and this week as we're setting up our panels here. So you're going to start having our 5 panelists, Adam, Megan, Tasha, Mike, and Karen, pop on the screen as I answer this question. The question was, Ron and Sherry Burkle sent in saying, we've got clients asking us, are we going to go into a recession? What's going to happen to the value of my house? Should I be worried about that and so forth? And again, I want to reiterate what we've said from the beginning of this. Our stance has not changed, which is I do not believe that we are going to head into any sort of serious recession. To sit here and say that we're not going to come out of this and have a recession would be naive on my part. I mean, there's going to be unemployment's going up. There's going to be some companies that are not going to bounce back. You're seeing that on the business news basically daily. But I believe, again, this is substantially different than what happened in 2008. Interest rates, by the way, Prosperity tells me yesterday on a 30-year conventional rate and with a credit score of 740 plus. And that's one of the things I want us to understand is credit scores have really changed because the limit used to be 600. It's now 660 where they're even going to get loans. So we needed these people that had 620, 630, 640 credit scores. We're going to need to get them in there and get their credit scores up. But 3.125 on a conventional loan yesterday, okay? Interest rates were at 6% in 2008. They're 4% below, I believe, is what we're going to say for the balance of this year. That's substantially different. The buying power that a consumer has today relative to 2008. This was not caused, again, by economic conditions. It was the real estate market and the overinflation of the real estate market that caused this back then. This was caused by a health issue that has now created an economic issue. So the reasons coming into this are substantially different. The stock market was at an all-time high. Unemployment was at an all-time low. Interest rates are at an all-time low. So the economic conditions of this are substantially different than before. As I talked last week, I was hoping that we were going to have a V come down and bounce right back up. I believe that is more of a U. I believe we're down here in this U. We're going like this, and then we'll start coming back out of this. I believe sometime in June, we'll be back out of this. And if that happens, that's the big if. If that happens, the answer is I do not believe that the value of your clients' houses are going to go down. I think that real estate actually is going to be one of these stable parts of this. The one market that we've seen most affected is the upper end market because those people were heavy in the stock market. They're worried about their business income. And so we have clearly seen a real slowdown in that $800,000 plus market. So that market may take a little bit of a hit. But long-term, I think this whole thing will come out strong. And one of the questions I'm going to ask all these people, because we've been hearing, Heather and Sarah and I in our mastermind groups have been hearing time after time after time, people have hit pause, people are going to the sidelines, people are going to wait this thing through. But yet with that, we did 200 more transactions in the month of March than we did last year in the month of March. So it would continue, even if people on the sidelines being crazy busy. So we're going to dive in to our panelists now. I know that they're all up here. So we'll get, my screen has Adam first. So I'm just gonna go as my screen pops up and we'll have you guys run through here. So Adam, good morning. Have you took a dip in the pool yet today?
Not yet. A little chilly today.
That it will wake you up though.
It will.
So I'm going to ask kind of all of you the same questions, but I mean, Adam, I know each one of you on this call has been continuing to stay busy. So, you know, you and your team, I think, have stayed fairly busy. Your numbers have came out. First quarter numbers, by the way, we'll be sending all those out today. Do we have that graph for the rankings of all of the agents? Did they get that to you?
Yes, I will put it in an email.
We'll put that in an email, send it out to you, all the rankings, our first quarter rankings for teams and individuals. So Adam, I know that you, as we've talked, have continued to be busy through this time. You know, your clients that are doing business, you know, what's your conversations with them look like, and what's their feel of the market? I mean, why do we continue to have buyers and sellers out there continue to sell homes? And we had 91 new transactions turned in yesterday and Monday on Easter weekend with cold weather, which quite honestly blows my mind. Now, last year that would have been 110, 120, but 91 is pretty good in my opinion, based on all the conditions going on in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would say we have, we still seem to be staying busy. I can't help but think, like, what would it be if this wasn't all going on, but we can't control that. So I feel like the conversations I'm having along with the team, there's definitely people on the sidelines, and there's nothing really we can do about that. And we just have to respect that. And so how I think we treat those is we just nurture those and have a good plan and system in place to make sure that we're nurturing those relationships, whether that's through letters, just good old fashioned pick up the phone and have good, meaningful conversations with them. I think this is a great time to be doing that. But I do think there are people that do want to do stuff. So, you know, 4 months ago, it was easy. Anyone, you know, you could sell houses pretty darn easily, but now you might have to call 3 to 4 times as many people to get those people, the fewer amount of people that want to do business. So it's not that everything's on pause. It's just, we probably have to work a little bit harder to make sure we're finding those people, and then making sure then you're nurturing the people that once this is all over, you're staying in good with them, so that when they're ready, you can be there in front of them and be there to help them out too. So the thing that I always, you know, like during this time is, we have a lot of people that are on the sidelines. So making sure that we're not just sitting back and we're not in vacation mode. We just have to work a lot harder to make sure that we're still seeing the same amount of business, or still staying somewhat close to, you know, your projected goals, I guess, is the way we're looking at it.
So Adam, because there is a lot of business, much with all the people saying they are on the sideline, there's still a lot of business out there. Where's that business coming from? Is that business coming from you and your team's relationships with people you've had in the past? You guys, we all know, do a fair amount of Zillow lead, and we do know that people are looking online more than they ever have before. Is it a combination thereof? Where do you see the business coming from, and why is it coming? Is it coming just because interest rates are crazy low, or why do you feel with the clients you're working with, they're buying right now, and where's it coming from?
Well, so ours is a mixture, definitely. As a lot of you guys probably know, we do a lot with Zillow. So I would say, I think we sold around 10 homes over the weekend, and I would say probably 4 of those were probably Zillow leads that we had gotten. We get a lot of Zillow leads too, guys, by the way, that we're getting a lot more Zillow leads, but a lot of them are like just kind of bored. They're just wanting to check things out. So it's a matter of shifting through those and making sure you're focused on the ones that do want to actually do something. I think that's going to go for any internet lead right now, or sign call or stuff like that. But, you know, the couple that I sold over the weekend, they were past clients that just wanted to get out there and do stuff. And again, I think it's just focusing on the people that, like, one of them I sold, it was an all cash deal. So for her, pulling money out of the market to pay cash, for her, it was no big deal. She was renting because I sold her house last year. So she just was eager to get something. Of course, it was still a multiple offer situation for her too, but so, you know, we're still seeing that, but it's definitely a mix. It's just, again, our pool of buyers, whether it's past clients, people that we were nurturing, Zillow leads, whatever it is, it definitely has shrunk of the amount of people that want to do stuff now. And they all have different reasons of why they want to do it now versus wait. And I think we'll all experience that. So it's just, again, trying to focus on the people that we know want to do stuff right now. Now, we've also had some people that are like, okay, I want to do stuff. And then they start really thinking about it and processing it. Like I've had this with some investors lately, and then they think, okay, you know what, after everything that's going on, we might want to just put things on pause to see what's going to happen. Where I agree with you, Vince. I think people that are going to put things on pause because they think they're going to get a better deal in 30 days or in 60 days, I think that's a big mistake, because I think all what's going to happen is this stuff starts clearing up. The only thing that's going to happen, we have this huge pent up demand that's happening right now. And then once this all gets cleared, I think it's just going to start going crazy with multiple offer situations, because all these buyers are just eager to get out there because rates are so low, and it's just going to flood the market. And so I don't know when that's going to happen. Maybe that's in 30 days, maybe that's in 90 days, but I think it will happen sometime this year. So it's being prepared, all of us to be prepared for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam.
Yep.
Tasha, let's unmute Tasha next if we could. I do agree with Adam. I really believe that because of the people that went to the sidelines and that are kind of on pause, or the pent-up demand that's being done here, I tend to believe in every one of our mastermind groups and our sales meetings. 2 months ago, we were talking about, man, make sure you hit your goals by September. We've got a presidential election year. We know history tells us as we head into a presidential election year, things are going to slow down. I tend to think what's happening here is if we can come out of this in June, that the pent-up demand is going to be exactly what Adam says. I think that we are going to have a very strong summer and fall, stronger than we would normally have. And if we look in our market back at just last year when we had the floods, if you remember, we had a harsh winter, we had the floods, so our March was not a great March, but then kind of everything got pushed and extended, and the summer was stronger than we've had in the past. Tasha, your buyers, the activity, you weren't feeling well, yet you were still doing business as through this whole process with your team and everybody else. And thank God you're feeling good now, or I think you've said that you're feeling better now. But you guys have continued to stay busy throughout this entire process. Why do you think people are buying?
We've definitely seen a little bit of a slowdown, but overall it's not a lot different than it was last year. I think the people that had decided that they wanted to make a move this year, we've been talking to them, there's a lot of uncertainty in, what's going on with the market. Are people putting their houses on the market? Is there buyers out there? And it's really just educating them that, listen, if you're a home seller and you want to sell this year, why are you going to wait? Unless, there are people that for health reasons or what have you, they still have that fear. You have to kind of, like Adam said, you have to nurture that relationship and let them sit on the sidelines until they're comfortable. But for the people that are comfortable putting their houses on the market, now is a great time to, because they have less competition, because the interest rates are low, which means that there's still a lot of buyers out there. So I think that that's been probably the biggest, obstacle, is just the unknown, that people kind of feel like real estate's not going on right now, when in reality, it's a lot healthier than I would have thought it would be at this time.
So you think it's primarily being driven by low interest rates, and two is you're educating them that there are buyers out there, the buyers are out there serious. So that's what I'm hearing you say. It's kind of an educational process. The people that were thinking about doing this, that you've been having conversations with, letting them know, hey, we're still selling things. Interest rates are still low. People are out there and the buyers out there are serious. Is that kind of what I'm hearing you say, Tasha?
Yes. And right now I got a referral from somebody in Kansas City this past weekend. They had a client that's moving their new construction and they had to have their house sold. And she just realized that it was on the market on the for sale by owner website. And it had been on there for 3 weeks. And the seller said, we've had 2 showings in 3 weeks and like the $350,000 price point. For people who do work the for sale by owners, I would think that now would be an excellent time to hit those people up, because of buyers want a controlled environment. They understand that agents have systems in place to protect them, to, I guess, guide the showing, make sure that the things that are supposed to be being handled for social distancing are being handled. And, I don't personally work for sale by owners, but I can't imagine that they're doing very well. And, they were shocked that they only had 2 showings in 3 weeks.
So what are you saying to the people that want to go to the sidelines and say, I want to do something this year, but I want to wait till we get through this? And how are you staying in touch with them?
We're making the phone calls, sending out emails, educating people on the different options that they do have. Our website now has two, I guess, tour options. One of them is a video tour. So if they want to schedule a video tour, they can schedule that video tour. And the second option is, obviously a in-person tour. So we're letting people know that, yes, the, real estate market is still going on. It's just, we're doing business differently than we did before. And so we're staying in touch with those people. But if they're just sitting on the sidelines, but they really do want to buy, we are having that conversation with them that they don't have to personally go and tour these properties. We can do a FaceTime video tour, or we can just go into the property and tour it for them and send them the information on that.
Perfect. And I will tell you guys, we've heard a lot over the last couple of weeks that the Show For Me app is really being utilized. Heather and I had in one mastermind group where there was 4 or 5 people using the Show For Me app because they weren't comfortable going out because they weren't feeling well or because they had health issues or whatever reason. One agent had used the Show For Me app with 4 different clients in a single day. So we are definitely doing things differently than we had before. And those Show For Me app agents will actually literally go out and do a FaceTime live or a video with the agent that's at home. So if their client wants to write an offer on it, they know what they're seeing. Gina just put a note in front of me talking about website traffic. Our website traffic to this point of more people looking at Zillow. Adam kind of made the comment that people are just out there looking because they're bored at home. But our website traffic is up over 39% over the last 40 days. From March 1st through yesterday, we're up 39+% over last year. So that's telling you that people are out there looking for things more than they have before. And I heard Tasha talk about virtual tours. When I get to Mike, I'm gonna ask him about Matterports and other things like that. Tasha, last thing for you, and then we'll probably circle back around to all of you to have one last thought. You do new construction, your models are closed and you're doing a show by appointment only, or what are you doing there?
Yeah, we have all of our models closed down right now. I have on all of our listings in the public remarks and on the different websites and stuff that we will show, open the place for them with 20 minutes notice. Of course, there's still the people that are just wanting to look. So we're making sure that they've actually gone to a bank and got a pre-approval letter, because we're not just there to help them kill time. But there's a lot of activity with new construction right now.
Good. Thank you very much. Let's Megan next is on my screen that I'm looking at. Megan, and I know Megan, you self-quarantined yourself because you did visit that vendor at convention, but even in that, during that time, you continue to work and reach out to your clients. And I think that's one of the things you've really done more than everyone else, or that you just do on a regular basis. I don't know if more than everyone else, but is you reach out to those clients on a regular basis. How have you been reaching out to them? What kind of response have you got from them? And the people that you're doing business with, kind of, what are you hearing from them? Why are they doing business?
Yeah, I have a lot of clients right now who need to make a move for one reason or another, whether they're moving into town or they're going through life changes or job changes or whatnot. So quite a few of my clients, want to make a move right now. So I think that's positive. I'm not like incredibly busy right now, but I feel like it's steady. I have a lot of people who are wanting to do something when this is over. So I've been really focusing on doing a lot of FaceTime with them, going room to room, getting their house prepped in this time that we're sitting at home, just kind of really focusing on what can you be doing at home so that when the market does shift back to normal a little bit, that they're ready to go.
And so that may be one of the answers we talked about, that maybe people buy because interest rates are so low, but some of the situations is people were ready to buy anyway because of the family situation changed, right? They needed a bigger house. They just got a new job and they're making more money. Whatever the life situation is, those people were ready to go, and seeing that the market still is moving, they're still moving forward with that. It sounds what I'm hearing is kind of what I'm hearing you say, right?
Right. Yeah. I don't think I've had like I've had some, but not a ton of like new buyers call me and say, hey, I'm ready to start looking for a home. I've had some sellers do that, but primarily it's buyers that were already out looking, for homes before this all started, who are still ready to go. I've had quite a few sellers reach out that say, hey, we're ready to go. Mostly I'm just kind of educating my clients on what's going on in the market. How can I help? Do you need anything right now? Just really hammering hard my center of influence to kind of show them that I care, and every single person is curious about the real estate market. It just is what it is. So why not be the sounding board and the resource for them to answer all of their questions? And a lot of people are bored, so they're really excited to talk to you on the phone. So, just been hammering out a lot of phone calls.
I know in the past you've always had a system in place, and I'd like to know if that's changed at all, if you're just staying to it, which is 25 handwritten notes a week, 25 calls a week. What's your system of how you're reaching out to your client base today, and has it changed at all from what you've always done in the past?
Mm-hmm. I've been doing a lot more actual phone calls versus text messages and note cards and things like that. I've actually been doing quite a bit more pop buys lately than I have been in the past. One, because I have the time, and two, I think people are home, and so it's a nice little care package type of thing that I'm doing. So a lot more phone calls versus just text messages and emails. I think that personal touch is really important right now, and a lot more pop buys of.
So Megan, when you're doing the pop buy, and we're lucky that we're in a market. Steve Face, a good friend of mine up in Michigan, the broker up there, I'm gonna be on a call with him later. He's listening to this. In Michigan, it's stay in. They're not even allowed to go out to show a house. They're not allowed to go out and take a listing presentation. They're not allowed to do a pop buy. So when you're doing a pop buy, are you calling your client in advance saying I'm popping by and I've got a gift for you, or are you just popping by and
I just set it on their doorstep, and then I take a picture of it and say, hey, thought you could use something to brighten your day or something like that. Just something super small.
Cool. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go to Mike next, and then we're gonna come back to each one of you for one final thought if you have anything. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Vince?
Mike, now you're working out of your model, I think, as of the last week and a half. Is that right?
Yeah, we've been in the model for about 2 weeks just to stay out of the office and limit the number of people, but still operate the way we need to.
So Mike, I know you've always been a strong proponent of doing virtual tours and Matterports and stuff like that. How are you utilizing those in this time? Because as we're hearing, our website traffic is up 39+%. We're hearing more and more people on Realtor and Zillow and other stuff like that. People are looking online, and they need something visual other than pictures to look at. How are you utilizing that tool in your new construction and in your existing homes? And have you changed anything from what you did in the past? Because you were an earlier adopter of this.
Yeah, so we've been doing Matterports for about 4 years now, and we always saw the value in it, and our clients see the value in it. And it's great at a listing appointment because you go in and show them a Matterport on an iPad, and they're just sold on it and sold on you. So we've been doing more and more marketing as far as Facebook and other Instagram or everything else, putting out more Matterport tours. With Pinecrest, we have a virtual pinecrest.com website that's just the Matterport tours, so people can get online and see those. And right now, as far as our sellers are concerned and people thinking about sitting on the sideline, we tell them that, we'll shoot the Matterport tour, and people can virtually go through your home and see the floor plan and see the dimensions and walk through the house in and out of rooms. And it's just a really great way, I think, to get other buyers to see the house, whether they're actually willing to go there or not. And with coronavirus going on, we've seen a huge spike in the number of people viewing the Matterports, almost an 80% increase, Vince, from where we were before to now in the last month.
That's interesting. So this is me being stupid. So this is probably a stupid question, but amuse me and answer it anyway. So you said that you're putting them on social media, Facebook and Instagram. So are you downloading the Matterports to Instagram also? Or did I misunderstand you?
So Ashley does that for me. So she's putting links out there so people can just click on links, or doing in Matterport, there's short video introductions that you can do, and you can put those on like Instagram and stuff, so that you're not having a capacity issue there. So there's short, like 30-second videos you can get from Matterport and put on Instagram and things like that.
So new construction, Tasha said that they are staying active. Are you guys still continuing to see that market? And you guys are both in what I'm gonna call affordable. You're not this $800,000 plus crazy price points. Are you seeing that market continue to be vibrant, or what are you seeing in that market right now?
The first quarter was huge. I mean, we sold 22 homes the first quarter, and our average sale price is about $390. Now coming into April, we've sold a couple already. So I see things continuing to go well in new construction. The biggest issue is that we're not meeting people in the open houses because we're not having them. So, as far as filling the pipeline 6 months down the road, that's the challenge right now, is what do we do to fill that?
Perfect. Thank you, Mike. Karen, we're going to go to you next. I know, as I've talked to you a number of times over the last couple of weeks, you appear to be crazy busy. And in fact, you say that probably because you're not running kids around to events, it's actually giving you more time to reach out to your clients and stay in touch with them. Can you talk about where you feel the business is coming from?
Well, first of all, I think that in times of adversity, there's a big time of opportunity right now. So the people that are really working are the ones that are really advancing in this market. My motto has been to stay smart, stay positive, stay safe, and stay focused. I believe the key is also listings. I've done more dual agency deals than I have in a very long time, because a lot of people just call off the sign. But my buyers have also been reaching out to me. And again, I think it's because they have more time. Last year, we were competing a lot against FSBOs. We were competing, just a lot of people just out doing things on their own. They don't want to do that anymore because of the environment. So I just let everyone know that I'm showing houses. I wear a mask. I have them wear a mask. I wear gloves, and I bring gloves and booties for all my clients. And I'm usually working with 2 or 3 clients a day.
That's crazy. You and Tasha both have mentioned for sell by owners. And so I tend to agree with you that this world is probably not positive for sell by owners. They don't have all the vehicles to reach everybody that we do. So there probably is an opportunity there to capture more of that business. Have any one of you, Karen, starting with you, have you done any virtual listing presentations, or have all your listing presentations still been physically in the house?
I have talked with people on the telephone, but I have usually gone to their homes. I ask before I arrive, has anyone been ill in the home? Does anyone have a cough? Does anyone have fevers? Before I will go into the home, I kind of do my research before I get there. But what I love about this market is it's a very efficient market. I'm not spending 4 to 5 hours every Sunday in open houses or Saturdays in open houses. I feel like I have so much more time for my clients, and I'm actually enjoying it. And again, like you just said, I'm not driving my daughter to and from school. I'm not taking her to tennis meets. I'm not going to volleyball tournaments and spending all day in a volleyball tournament. So I think for me, it's very freeing, and it's been an opportunity to focus on my family, my faith, my clients, my team, and I'm just loving it.
So those people that are for you and or your team that are saying, and I think on some of your people in your team have said they kind of are going to go to the sideline, and some of them are still staying active, but those that are telling you that they are going to go to the sideline, they're going to wait this thing through and maybe in the summer come back out. How are you staying in touch with those people? What's your conversation look with them? Obviously, I don't think if someone's not secure to go out and do this because of a health risk or whatever it is to them, we don't want to be forcing them, right? This is not a time for us to be salesy. I want us to be reaching out to people with an I care attitude. But what's your conversation with them that are saying, I want to do something in the middle of the summer? How are you communicating with them?
Well, like the Georges, for example, they do a lot on the military end of things in Papillion and Bellevue, and they have a lot of listings and a lot of buyers coming. They're just holding off for right now until they truly know when their orders are going to be placed for them to PCS, and that is fine. And we have a couple of people on my team that do not want to show houses, and so we're just teaming up. I'm showing houses for them. They're doing the paperwork. Deanna and I just did one last week like that. So that's the bonus of us having a team. So we're lucky for that reason. But we're
so
just
the clients saying, I'm going to the sideline or I'm going to hit pause. What's your conversation with them, and how are you staying in touch with them to make sure you don't lose touch by the time that we come out of this when they are ready to buy or sell?
We follow up with them weekly. It depends on the person on my team, how they're doing it, but they're really trying to stay in touch with them. Like you said, through FaceTimes, emails, telephone calls. I agree with Megan. I have been doing a few pop buys as well. Just those little touches, I think, makes a difference.
So any of you, I see all of you, raise your hand and I'm gonna pop you on here. Has any of you done a virtual listing presentation at this point in time where you've literally done a listing, you got the listing and you did not go see the house, they just either showed you a video or pictures of it? All right, Adam, you did? Let's put, so talk through that process. How did you do that? Because we had 3 classes on that last week and we're getting more and more people doing that. And
mine might not be super fair to talk about only because they were repeat clients. So I've seen the home. I mean, it's been like 5 years since I've been in the home. I've done that on 2 active listings that I've now sold that I haven't even gone through them since it's pending now.
Are they sending you updated pictures of the house, a video of the house? How are you corresponding with them, letting them know how to unclutter or to stage or to get the house prepared?
One of them was pictures and videos. The other one didn't send me any pictures or videos, only because it was only a 1.5 old, and I just trusted that it was good. Well, then later on, Lacey, who works with me, she and her and Tanya went through the house and said, okay, there is a couple things that need to happen in this house. So then Lacey reached out to the seller and said, okay, you got to work on this and this, and it did help too. So it wasn't like a perfect system by any means, but I know there's definitely better ways to do it through, just full on videos and pictures of doing it that way too.
I'm going to Adam, I'll start with you and I'm going to walk through each one of you. Is there any last thought of how to, we've been telling every one of you, please, not just the people you're working with, not just the people on the sidelines, but reach out to everybody, as Megan said, by phone calls, video or something, in everyone in your database, and have a conversation with them with an I care attitude. Any last thoughts because I tend to believe that the next 30 days of activities, of staying in contact and building and nurture these relationships is going to determine how much business you do for the balance of the year. Any last thought of what you're doing or you're preparing your team to do here over the next 30 days to make sure that you guys do have a great second half of the year?
Again, for us, it's just keep on doing what we're doing. Sometimes it's just reaching out to that many more people, but I do think now is a great time to have good, meaningful conversations with people. I'll say this, my average conversation with people in the past would be like maybe 5 minutes. And that would be long, where I would say I'm averaging 20 minutes of conversation right now, just because, we have time to sit back and really take it in. And so I think that is good and it goes away. And I feel good after the conversation too. It wasn't just a quick rush, get the main points, and we're able to talk a little bit more about life and what's going on with them too. So I think
my average conversation, as normally is 1 to 2 minutes, and it's been stretched out to 5. And when we get to 10, I start freaking out.
Yeah.
so I have had longer conversations. And with Karen, if it gets to 30, I'm like, oh, Karen, I got to go. My ADD is going to kill me here. So Tasha, if we could jump onto you next, as you're keeping yourself and your team prepared as we head into the second half of the year. I mean, let me ask you first, do you tend to believe, Adam said he does, and I do you tend to believe that as we come out of this, that we are going to have a strong summer and a strong fall market? And if you do, then what are you doing to keep your team prepared to make sure that you can capture that?
Staying in contact with the buyers that we do have in our system that aren't doing anything right now. Because if, it does get to that point and we see an influx of properties hit the market, we want to be, the person that they end up in contact with. We do a lot of Zillow business as well. So we know that 5 other agents are talking to those exact same buyers. So just making sure that we are at the forefront of their mind. And when I'm reaching out to people about, the different, like the PPP and stuff. I feel like I have done 50 Zoom meetings on it, that I'm a professional on it now, but all of the business owners that are my clients, I'm reaching out to them to see if they know about the program, if there's any questions that, I can answer, and just giving them advice on, the experience that we've had with it.
Yeah. And now that's a real value, right? We've all went through this. Scott is I'm sure extremely glad that we're almost off this PPP thing. He's sick of me calling him and asking questions about it and us talking about, but having meaningful conversations where we're giving real value to people, because I've had a number of other business people outside of real estate too, asking about the program. Do I understand it? And walking that through. So doing that, Tasha, I think that's great. You're helping them get real money, right? That's a forgivable loan that they can do something with. You do. I don't think that's proper English. Shannon just gave me a really dirty look. You do, without the second do, a lot of a lot of Zillow leads also. What percentage would you say of the business you guys have done over the last 30 days is referral, personal, center of influence, database business, and what percentage of that is online lead generation, primarily through Zillow, I think, in your case?
I think that we are probably a little bit heavy on the online lead generation right now, just because the Sphere, if they don't have to, might not be doing anything. But a lot of the Zillow people are, buyers that are actively looking because they're in a position where they have to do something. So I think we're probably over 50% for the online lead generation right now.
Okay, interesting. Thank you very much, Tasha. I appreciate it. Megan, last thoughts. Do you feel like we're going to have a pent-up demand in a strong summer and fall market, one? And then two is, what are you doing to make sure that you're prepared once we come out of this thing?
I do think I agree with Adam. I think that it's going to be a crazy summer and fall. I think even more so than right now. I think there's going to be a ton of people that are just waiting until this is over and are going to hit the ground running. I think it's going to be busier than we've seen in a while, honestly. So I'm just really focusing on staying in contact with all of my buyers and sellers, sphere of influence. And then I'm working hard on creating additional systems in place, since I have time, that is going to make the process just even more smooth when we get to that busy part. So stay in contact, work on your systems, and just be ready to rock and roll when we kind of are done with this whole stay-at-home virus thing.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm hoping that all of you are kind of looking at these times as we're doing Zoom calls and other things and putting new processes into place that's going to help you be more effective and more efficient as we come out of this thing. The other thing that I would be talking to people is, we've talked about, we hope this is short term, but you needed a credit score of 600. Now you need a minimum of 660 across the board, to get these great interest rates. You really need a 740 plus. One of the things we need to be talking to people about that are maybe on the sidelines is making sure that they are doing everything they can to make sure they do have a great credit score, because that's the best way for them to take advantage of these crazy low interest rates. I tend to believe interest rates for people that have decent credit scores is going to continue to be below 4% for the balance of the year. I don't see those bouncing up. Karen and Mike have switched in my screen for some reason. So Karen, I'm gonna go to you next. Talk about, what are you and your team going to be doing to continue to make sure that you're prepared to have a great second half of the year as we come out of this situation?
I think we're just going to do more of the same, what everyone else has been saying. I did order 25 masks, black masks that say Berkshire Hathaway on them. And so anyone that shows up to do something, I give those out now. And that, thank you, Nikki King, for giving me the link on that. But I think just staying in touch with people, setting up business. So even if we are a month out, 2 months out, just setting up the business, going ahead and getting those listing agreements in place, sending the seller property disclosures out, sending them their list of things to do on the homes. Even if you don't go through the homes physically, you can reach out to them and give them a things to do list to prepare their homes. I think the Matterport, I think, is a great idea. I'm going to start implementing that more. 2 of our listings had that done last week, and I think that's a great idea. We started doing more video work, and just, staying focused.
Good. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it. Mike, let's wrap up with you. What are you going to make sure that you and your team are going to be doing as you continue to move forward here to make sure that you come out of the next 30 days prepared for a great next 6 months?
I think the biggest thing, Vince, is staying mentally focused and not getting distracted at home by things to do and projects and cleaning this or doing that. It's great to take this time.
Mike, Shannon's sitting next to me. Can you talk about that? Because she's telling me to paint this and do this and do. So could you repeat that? Because I thought that was a really good advice.
I think the painting gets done in a couple days, and then move on to business stuff. Because,
in the garage.
If you're not in the office, it's tough to not have that interaction anymore. And at home, you get distracted and you lose mental focus. And I think, honestly, a lot of people are going to get depressed a little bit over this. And so they pull back even more, and it snowballs. So you've got to stay focused, and you got to make the phone calls. And everybody that you call is going to love hearing from you if you just call and ask them how they're doing. This is such an easy time to make a phone call. And the more you do that, the more you're staying in touch with people to do business with you down the road if they're concerned about doing business today. And when they ask about real estate and what's going on, I talk to them about the numbers and how things are actually up year over year, and we're seeing strong demand and what we're doing to be safe and still sell homes. So, you know, I think the biggest thing, Vince, is mental focus and staying on track and tracking what you're doing and tracking your results.
Yeah. You know, you hear me as a broken record over the years talk about that the most successful people in the world really do have a mental mindset that starts every single morning, right? Whether it's with prayer or meditation or exercise or whatever. And there's probably never been a point of time in any of our lives where having that positive attitude and mental mindset is more important than it is today. I am excited to get back to the office. I will debate after this with anybody all day long. Your point that working out of your home, there's more distractions. It's tougher to stay focused. And a lot of people do need that energy. I'm telling you, I'm hearing both employees and agents saying, okay, I need to get back in the office. I need to be around that energy and so forth. So I agree, guys. Every single day when you wake up, do things as you would have done them before. Do the same routine, you know, get up, get ready, shower, but mentally, physically, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because I think our mental mindset is going to determine how we get through the balance of this. And being positive is absolutely so important for your own mental well-being, but even those around you. So guys, I so appreciate each and every one of you getting on here and doing that. I saw at one point in time we had 327 people. I don't know if it went higher than that on this call. So this Zoom thing has been something spectacular for us and allowed us to stay connected in a way that I don't know what we would have done if we didn't have this. But thank each and every one of you for your time and your input today. I hope everybody walked out of here with some valuable things, but please continue to reach out to your clients with the I care attitude. And it, as Mike said, it is so easy at this point in time to make that call. And as so many of you have said, they're excited to hear from us. They want to hear from us, and we have the ability and we have the time, because we're doing less time driving around other things, to have more meaningful conversations with them. So panelists, thank you. Let's all stay healthy. Let's all stay safe. Let's be smart and use common sense as we do this. But signing off, we will do again another sales meeting next week. I'm not loving having to prepare for sales meetings every week, but we're going to try to continue to do this because we do think it's important, is we're not seeing you in the office, to stay in touch with you. And this is one of the best ways we know to do that. So thank you guys. Take care. Have a great day. We will read through the questions. If there's other questions we need to respond to, we will try to get answers back to all of you that have been popping in questions throughout this process. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.